Roll the tape.
We're rolling. Alright, I guess let's get into this. Julian from WSOU, you're joined by BRAT. I'm here with Liz, Selfish, Dustin, Ian, and Brenner. How are we all doing?
Great.
Good. Thanks for having us.
Super stoked. Also, love you guys. You guys are definitely heating up, making some noise in the heavy music world. I saw a really great YouTube comment under one of your music videos that I think perfectly describes the band. Charismatic singer with brutal old school vocals, riff monster on the guitar, machine on the drum kit, and then Rex Brown on bass guitar.
Hell yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, that works.
Absolutely. You guys use 2 words to describe yourselves: barbiecore, bimbo violence. Are there any other things you'd say about the band to introduce yourselves to someone who's never heard of BRAT?
Rock and roll music.
Yeah.
That is so true.
That is extremely true.
Just a good time.
Yeah.
Good time, baby.
Yeah. It's just all we're about.
That's what it's about, having fun. And you're seeing now a lot more bands that are just about having fun, having a good time. That's what it should be. That's what you should be going to shows for. Bands like Drain having like pool toys and stuff with their show, Gel, Scowl, stuff like that. Scowl had a Taco Bell commercial. They had a song in their Taco Bell commercial, I remember. Pretty insane milestone for any heavy band. Did you guys see BRAT doing a jingle?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, hit us up if you're listening.
TJ Maxx would be awesome.
TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
Down.
Max and
Trader
Easton's.
Joe's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The BRAT back to school breakdown.
Oh,
Loves.
that's good. Oh, Loves.
Love.
Yeah.
Loves.
Loves
Brenner
checks
has a
out.
Loves tattoo he got on the last tour.
Yeah.
What?
Very dedicated to Loves.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Loves is like the other part of the country's Wawa, I guess. That's where we love our Wawa.
Wawa's better.
Wawa rules.
Well, it's
Loves is a truck
it's a
stop.
truck
It's
stop,
like
yeah.
they don't have the like made to order food or
Yeah.
things like that.
I wish they did, but
They have like a microwave. I was at one in Ohio a couple months back. Not a bad spot. I remember I was watching your Bus Invaders video. Don't you have like a cross that you got from a trucker out of Love's, like hanging from the rearview mirror?
yes, her and I were at a Love's maybe 5 years ago, and we were like waiting in line, and we were just like hugging or something like that, and some trucker came up to us, and he was just like, "You don't see love like that no more. Here, take these crosses," and he gave us these little crosses. And I mean, neither of us are religious, but we're just like, "Oh, this is cute." Hang it up in the van.
Trucker
We're still in the
crosses.
van today.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So you guys have the whole pink glittery image. It came from using pop samples to begin songs. Was there any song in particular at first that you guys used, or just any catchy pop songs that came to mind? And could you see yourselves using the samples like mid-song in a way similar to the way White Zombie does it?
So I think the first sample we ever used was Backstreet Boys.
Mm-hmm.
What song was it?
Backstreet's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
That one.
But like as far as like choosing the samples, all of our samples kind of like lead into songs for the most part. So we kind of have to find ones that like work tempo wise and stuff like that. Because it's not just like pick any song and then put it before our songs. We have to kind of find something that works. And then as far as like putting samples into songs, we already kind of do that a little bit. Like not so much music, but like sound bites, like spoken word type stuff. We put that in the middle of songs.
Yeah, we have like the "It's Britney." I don't know if I can say the word on air, but we have that in one of our songs, and then we have like a clip from Jawbreaker in another song. So there's a little bit like in the music, but for the most part, it just like leads into each song.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I heard in another interview that your origin story began with Liz. You figured out you had a great heavy vocal ability doing karaoke.
Yeah.
Is there more you guys could tell us about the origin of BRAT?
Yeah, well, it was Brenner's birthday. I guess this was like 3 years ago, or maybe 4 at this point.
Yeah.
And we were just doing karaoke for his birthday, and a friend and I tried to do a Day to Remember song, and I tried to do the lows, and it turned out pretty decent. And we were like, oh, we should start a band, because Brenner's always been in a million bands. And then COVID hit right after that, so we had a bunch of time to work on it and put it together and write the music and practice vocals, and that's kind of how the whole thing started.
No, yeah, that's awesome. And did you run into any like mistakes, anything hard when you were first trying to do heavy vocals?
Yeah, well, this is like so dumb to think about in retrospect, but the first couple tours, or maybe it was just the first tour, like, I didn't even realize, like, I needed to practice every day at home to be able to do it every day on the road. So I was having a really hard time with the first and second tour we did because I wasn't used to doing it every day. So it took, like, that to finally sink in, like, oh, I actually have to, like, do this every day at home for it to be, like, sustainable for me.
Yeah, definitely. Sort of like a trial by fire thing. You kind of hone your chops as you're yelling at people every night.
Yeah, it's like any other muscle. You just have to, like, train it daily, you know, just like working out.
Yeah.
Yeah, our first tour, our first couple tours, we DIY booked ourselves, and like we were like, okay, we got to do 3 days on, 1 day off. That way, she
So
could
I
rest
could
her
rest.
voice.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about now. And then, like, we went from that to doing, like, a 23-day run with no days off, just, like, really hitting it hard after we figured out we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys are from New Orleans, some of you from Texas. How do you guys rep New Orleans? People from Jersey here, like, we have a very mixed relationship. We talk about how we hate it here, but we won't stand for any slander of any kind, like, only us. Only we can talk crap about Jersey.
Yeah.
And then a lot of, like, the New Orleans band, they use a lot of the anger, the misery, maybe the darkness, hatred towards the area, like EHG, can't say their name,
Yes.
Acid Bath, all those bands. Do you guys have, like, a strong New Orleans, probably, like, we like it here, we're from New Orleans, or, like, man, it sucks, here's some heavy stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. Same with, like, how you said about Jersey, how, like, you know, only we can, like, talk bad about it, you know, because I don't like to hear, people that aren't from there talk down, but it does suck a lot of the time, sometimes, you know?
I
But
feel
it's
like
also
I
the
have a
best.
different perspective on it because I'm from Dallas originally, and I love New Orleans. And, like, yeah, there's, like, downsides to it, but I think because it's, like, their, like, hometown essentially, and you always, like, hate your hometown, that it's more of, like, they have that mentality where I'm like, I love New Orleans, and I'm happy
It's
to live
not my
there.
hometown, and I hate it.
I could never live anywhere else, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you guys just hate it. Never mind.
And what can you tell me about what it's like in the New Orleans scene? I know you guys formed pretty much while that scene was asleep during COVID, nothing going on, so you guys poured that energy into recording rather than shows. Is there a lot you could tell me about, like, the local scene down there?
Yeah, it's a really mixed bag. Like, right now, hardcore punk is doing really well there. And it's always been, like, a metal town. Like, you think of the big bands from there, like, I can't say any of their names. I was like, Goat,
Crowbar,
EHG,
You
Crowbar,
could say Crowbar.
Exhorter,
Corrosion Conformity.
Acid Bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many great bands from New Orleans, but it's like Soylent Green, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, those guys.
But yeah, like, it's like you think of it as like a metal town, but like things kind of ebb and flow, and I think right now like punk's doing really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always been a cool community because it's a small city, so it's very tight knit, which is nice.
Yeah, and even the genres, they differ, but there's still that dark swamp sound that all these bands have that the South gives it, like Down and all these other bands. It just sets them apart, that southern flair.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys say your biggest influences are? I definitely hear a little bit of Power Trip influence on a couple songs. Also, Liz, I know you had a Riley Gale shirt on, Rust in Power, for the music video for Human Offense, one of my absolute favorite bands. The intro to Human Offense, that like guitar screech with the drums and the bass just going to town, reminds me a lot of Nightmare Logic. So what would you guys say your biggest influences are?
Power Trip is definitely a huge one, for sure. Some other bands would be like Mammoth Grinder, which is the drummer from Power Trip's other band.
Oh, nice.
So them, another band called Regional Justice Center. Listen to them a lot. Mind Eraser. Yeah.
Lost Lonely Boys.
Yeah. Lost Lonely Boys. Yeah. Big influence.
Dave Matthews.
It's literally
Dave-
everything.
Dave
Lenny
Matthews.
Kravitz.
Yeah.
That's a like. If you were to look at like the van playlist, it makes literally no sense.
Yeah.
But we just love all music.
This is true.
A lot of my influences for the BRAT stuff is like 90s country, because like all of two-step is country, you know.
Just a harder do-si-do.
Yeah, exactly. Just a fast.
Isn't the break you do in Human Offense like
Yeah.
from a Garth Brooks song?
Human Offense, I'll say this on the record finally. Human Offense is literally half a Garth Brooks song and half Gratitude by Beastie Boys. artist with like a grind ending.
That's a perfect combination, my gosh. You guys do have a very interesting playlist for the band. I remember watching your Tour Bus Invaders video. You guys said you listen to, you know, good old metal, pop, country pop. And then I know you guys are staying in New Hope right now. Ian, I know you're a Ween fan. I've seen you wear their shirts in a couple videos. Plus, I heard that you guys definitely listened to them from what sounded like a complaint from that Tour Bus video.
Well, yes.
Do you feel anything special about staying in New Hope, since that's kind of where Ween came from?
It's magical for me. I think it's really cool. That's all I can say.
Excellent.
We're playing at their old stomping grounds tomorrow night.
John and Peters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very sad about the canceled tour dates, you know.
Oh yeah. R.I.P. Ween. If you see something from them soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ween, they're kind of an obscure band. Do you guys have any other influences you'd consider like pretty obscure, to be pretty far-fetched from metal? I mean, besides the pop.
Oh man.
We did listen to a lot of Dave Matthews Band last tour.
We did.
We get on like we get a one-track mind on like an artist. I feel like every tour, and like last tour it was Dave Matthews, so we just
driving
listened
into the
to
ground.
so much Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
And like it's always just something like off the wall or like.
We were on this like long tour with a bunch of deathcore bands, and which was great, but we had to like offset that with just like something totally opposite.
Yeah.
So every night we got in the van, it was just satellite.
Yes.
It got to the point where we're like on an off day watching Dave Matthews Band live on YouTube, like videos
Well,
like
to be
back
fair,
to
we were
back.
watching Carter Beauford
Carter
videos.
Beauford.
The
videos.
drummer.
Goated drummer
Just-
of all
yeah.
time.
But yeah.
Yeah, you guys have been touring pretty relentlessly, lots of festival dates too. You guys just did the Summer Slaughter tour. Is this your first headlining tour?
No.
No, I mean our first like 2 DIY tours we booked ourselves were like technically headline tours, and we do a lot of like headline dates around tours. Like this is technically the tour that's for Guar and Brujeria that we're on, and we're like we'll just do a bunch of dates around it. We love to do dates around other tours.
She doesn't like it.
So we
I-
do
I
a lot
like
of
it.
a lot of headline dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is there like a real big difference between those headline dates, like something you see in the crowd?
Yes.
Yeah.
This one especially,
definitely.
yeah. These shows are crazy.
We've played 2 shows so far on this
Oh,
run. We're at the
that were banging.
well, yeah, at the very beginning of the tour.
We're 2 for 2, man.
But they've built like the crowds have been really great. They've been super hype, and like coming from the last tour that we did, which was like a marathon day of like, you know, we played at like 4:00 every day. And
9
it was like 9
bands.
bands, and so the energy at 4:00 is not the same as
Right.
like the energy when you're, you know, on a headline show of your own. So it's been really nice. for
Also,
this
when the
tour.
crowd's like there to see you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like that, like we said, that was like more of a deathcore tour. We were a little bit of the odd man out on that.
Right.
So
We didn't
yeah.
fit in there.
On that tour.
Yeah, but no, it was still a great tour, but the energy's definitely been different on this one.
Yeah, no, that's great. And is there any show that sticks out to you guys as the best, and then on the opposite end of that spectrum, maybe a worse show or
Yeah,
venue
the
that
worst.
really sucked?
Yeah.
The best one that always comes to mind first for me is when we played Portland, Maine this last February. It
That
was
a super fun
it was
show.
right after we got off the Escuela Grind tour. We finished that in Boston, and then we were only 2 hours away from Portland, Maine, which we played there on our second tour. So we're like, oh, you know, we're only a couple hours away. Let's go play there. And like the Escuela Grind tour was amazing. That's the best tour we've ever done. Like most of the shows were sold out. Like it was crazy. And then we go play Portland, Maine, which isn't a big city, as a headliner on a Sunday. And we're like, we don't know how this is going to be, how this is going to compare to all these sold out shows we just played. And it ended up selling out very quickly. We were just super surprised, and
Yeah. It was a Sunday, I think.
yeah, it
Which
was.
is always a gamble.
people were going crazy, crowd surfing, stage diving.
And they had just reopened that venue too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
After renovations.
yeah,
So,
that was their first show back
yeah.
in months.
It was a banger.
Yeah, it was an incredible
Shout
show.
out Mast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
So, worst show? You said you know? I think I know.
Sauget,
what you're saying.
Illinois.
Sauget, Illinois, dude.
It's gotta
Yeah.
be the all-time.
Pops.
I mean, we've had shows that there's barely any attendance, You know, there's not many. Like El Paso was
Yeah.
like a weird one. It was a one-off on Summer Slaughter, but Sauget, Illinois at Pops opening Summer Slaughter tour was maybe
Sauget, Illinois on
it
a
was
Monday.
not good.
Yeah,
Seems like
that
a
was
chemical
rough.
wasteland.
It is an industrial.
Yeah.
So the town actually used to be called Monsanto. It's where Monsanto is based, and they renamed it after the you know, all the Monsanto scandals and stuff. But yeah, it's basically just like this weird club in the middle of all these chemical plants right outside of St. Louis.
To be fair, the club was nice.
Oh,
It is
yeah,
nice.
it was
Like the
nice.
actual club itself was.
The crowd
nice.
was rough.
Crowd was
I
rough.
felt like Chernobyl.
We also, well, I always think of playing Nashville for the first time. It was like
Oh, yeah.
our first tour ever, and we again we had DIY booked that tour, and they didn't have the date on the flyer, and we played to like 10 people.
There was
and,
also an
like,
ice storm that
Yeah,
day.
it was
Oh.
there
A lot
was
of things
nobody
working
there.
against
It was
us.
rough.
They
Yeah.
didn't put
I
the
think there was a
date on the
competing
flyer.
show
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was our first tour.
Right.
It's,
So
you know.
yeah, but yes, and then Sajay. It's almost worse though. Like he was saying, El Paso. We played a show on this last run in El Paso. Our first time there. There was
On a
like
Monday.
25 people, but all those people like really were excited and like wanted to be there and were there for us and like bought merch, was like very supportive, and we played that Sauget, Illinois show on
Maybe,
Summer
like,
Slaughter,
100.
and there's like 100 something people there, and they're all bored as
That's
hell
right.
up there. It was like, and
Yeah,
I'm up here like, and they're just
yeah,
like that is way worse. I'd rather
Yeah.
play
Which,
with 25 stoked people. You know?
yeah, definitely.
A 9-band deathcore build
Yeah.
is a marathon. You
Yeah.
know, so it's like you're not going to
Yeah.
give your best for the first couple bands.
Yeah, I get it. But it's
I will say,
disheartening
like,
to play
they didn't
to.
give their best for any of the bands. It
That's
was
true.
just like
Yeah, it was a rough crowd.
Yeah.
very.
We'll be there in a few days.
We'll
like,
be in St. Louis.
like,
though.
y'all paid money to be here.
It's like you conserve your energy for the later bands, and then when they come around, you never end up going into the
Yeah.
pit.
Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah, I remember I was at This Is Hardcore Fest. I think it was 2022, and like one of the first bands opened up at 12 p.m. There was like one dude moshing, and somehow that one dude like got wiped out. Like he was bleeding
No,
somehow.
Oh, no.
So
Dang.
It's too
Took
early.
itself out.
Yeah.
some people are
pain.
willing to take one for the team and really open stuff up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. Sometimes all it takes is one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like again, that El Paso show is if there's like one person at the front of the stage just going hard, that's enough for us as a band to like get into it and put on a great show. You know,
Yeah,
like it just takes one person with a lot of energy that's
Yeah.
just like, all right, let's go.
definitely reflective of, you know.
Yeah.
It's a two-way relationship between us and the audience. So
Yeah, for sure. And what do you think the craziest thing you've ever seen in the pit is? I was recently at a Frozen Soul show. We were doing push-ups in the pit. That was neat.
yeah,
And then there's this band I've been seeing, Belushi Speedball. You guys
yes,
have heard of them?
yes.
They go ballistic for the pit. They just cover people in fluids, toilet paper, and then they play night crawlers from It's Always Sunny
Yes.
in Philadelphia, where everybody's
So
just
good.
crawling all over each other,
That's
freaking out.
crazy.
So yeah, what's the craziest thing you guys think you've ever seen in the pit?
They do get
Um,
knocked out in Nashville in the pit.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
had a
They
stop
got
nothing,
show.
torn down
Oh,
by
yeah.
shreds.
Yeah.
nothing like super like weird.
Our
Just
album release show.
That was cool.
I
That
mean,
was gnarly.
just
There's
like-
a lot of blood.
yeah, just like, you know, standard stuff like fights or
Pit injuries.
people getting knocked unconscious and then us finding out mid-song and stopping, like being like, are you alive? But I mean, I guess that's not that unusual for, you know, a metal show. So nothing like weird that I can think of.
We've had some people like twerk, which is, I guess, a
Yeah,
little-
that's pretty.
Yeah,
That's cool.
off the wall.
Yeah.
Everyone really enjoyed it. That didn't land, but
Yeah.
all right, continue.
Do you guys have a favorite music video that you've shot? I really love the one for Hesitation Wound, working a crappy food service job, and then a meat freezer beer. It's about as metal as it gets.
It's our little ode
Yeah.
to service industry.
Yeah.
I've been cooking professionally for my entire, like, as long as I've been playing shows. It's like, you know, one feeds the other. And so yeah, that was cool. That one was kind of like, we made that up on the spot too. We just asked my friend John, who shoots our videos. We worked together at a restaurant at one point actually, and we were like, hey, we're gonna shoot at Morning Call, which is like a
That's my family's place.
iconic New Orleans pit stop for tourists as well. And at first we were just like, yeah, we'll just like be in there and there'll be shots of us playing in there. And they were like, well, maybe we should have a story. And then we like start storyboarding at the place, and like it's still open. There's customers in it. The mansion one was cool though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
the
my
most
favorite one.
fun.
Yeah.
I feel like that one went a little underappreciated, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I think that one was our best video.
We put the most production. And
Yeah, I
planning
put a lot of
and
work
stuff
into that
it.
one. But yeah, Hesitation Wound was also like a really good one. That one's funny too because it's shot at his family's restaurant, and one of the scenes, like, it was still open while we were shooting part of it, and it's like when we go into the walk-in freezer, there's like an employee just like working like in the shot, and it's like
That wasn't
Right.
part of the video. He was literally just
Yeah.
working.
That's my dad in the video as the boss.
Like
He
the
did
guy
not
who-
do any acting.
Yeah.
He's
guy
watching right now.
played
What's up,
himself.
Yeah.
Michael,
Yeah.
Michael, what up?
Dog.
No, yeah, that's sick. And then everybody knows the Denny's Grand Slam. If you guys were to play in some establishment, what do you think would be? Obviously not that place, but Alex Jones from Undeath, another sick band on Prosthetic Records, they said they'd probably do a pop-up at this Raising Cane's they always had on tour.
Mm.
Where do you guys think you would do it?
Waffle House.
Waffle
Waffle
House,
House, yeah.
Loves would be sick.
Loves, yeah.
In the middle of a Buc-ee's would be sick.
Yeah.
Lunch broiler.
I have played in Applebee's before in Houma, Louisiana.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Played Smoothie King in Graceland.
You played a, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to be
Well,
like
you
a
used to
common
have
thing.
used to have a
everybody-
fest at Taco Bell too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whenever I was a lot younger, I used to put on a music festival outside of a Taco Bell in my hometown. Just in,
With their permission, or?
my friend's mom was like the regional manager, so
That's awesome.
she let me put on a music festival. I'd have like 10, 15 bands. I'd get like a gooseneck trailer and use that as the stage, and yeah, it's called
Wasn't
Taco,
it, like,
Taco
their-
Fest.
Their best sales
Taco
day.
Fest.
Yeah, it was
The
the
year
best
of the
sales
time.
day of the year every year.
They gotta do that more. That
Great.
sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
It was awesome.
Heavy music show outside of Taco Bell.
It was
Yeah.
great. It was a KFC
Awesome.
Taco Bell too. It was
Wow.
Even better.
We
Yeah.
just we
More
actually
edibles.
played
Dang breed.
we just played the basement of a Popeyes.
We did. You did. 2 days ago, yeah.
That was sick.
It was cool.
Louisiana Fast.
That's right.
Do you guys have a favorite tour food? Something you guys come back to pretty often?
I like Taco Bell.
It's hard to get us to agree all on one thing. We're all like,
The
It's a
only-
war in the band.
yeah, it is.
We all agree on bagels.
We
Yeah.
love Jersey for the record.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jersey.
we all love Jersey.
We got the
It's
best
in my
bagels.
Yeah.
top,
Oh, yeah.
top
Yeah.
3 places, maybe top 2.
Yeah.
New Mexico and New Jersey is
Are
probably our two
way up there.
favorites.
Yeah, Jersey rules.
But we all disagree on food most of the time. But a couple places we all can get down with is Jimmy John's. I like
Yeah,
Jimmy
we all like
John's.
Jimmy
Jimmy John's is solid.
Cane's.
Cane's rules.
Sheets and Wawa.
Sheets and Wawa, yeah.
But Wawa's better than Sheets.
I mean,
Sheets
This
is
is
so-
another topic of disagreement in the band.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Hoagie Fest, bro.
Turn down Hoagie Fest.
No.
And do you guys have maybe collectively or individually a favorite Brat song? One that's your favorite to do live?
Mine is definitely Truncheon, but I don't think that's anybody else's.
I like Truncheon. Ego Death
Yeah,
is flashy
that's fun.
for the drum parts.
Like Hesitation.
I mean, Chain
Yeah.
Pain is like
Card
Human
Music.
Offense is
a classic. Human Offense is a classic.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're all our babies. We can't choose.
Yeah, we're like, they're classics. They've been out for like 2
Yeah.
years.
To play, but yeah,
Played
I
on
mean,
a zillion
in those 2 years, we've played them
Classic stuff.
hundreds
Yeah.
of times.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not classics to anybody else.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, my favorite is one that's not come out yet.
Ooh.
Suspense.
Yeah.
Speaking of that suspense, is there anything you could tell us about when to expect some new music?
No.
I just gave y'all a whole album. What do you want?
We don't know.
Early
Probably
next year.
Early next year.
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
thinking.
first couple months of the
Yeah.
next year.
Gotcha. Can't wait to see that. And I watched your interview with Hoy Rock, the bassist for Madball, on his Smoking
Oh, yeah.
Word podcast.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And
Okay.
one of the words he used to describe some of the criticism that you guys get is "ooga booga meathead bull."
Yeah.
To what extent have you guys encountered said "ooga booga meathead bull"? Like a lot of metalheads, they got these fragile egos, and they go feral at the sight of a woman to begin with, or anything that doesn't fit their metal band template. Have you guys seen that sort of like fizzle out as you guys have established yourself as a band?
No. I mean,
It's really only
it's
online.
only online though. Like
Yeah.
people aren't
Yeah.
at our shows. Like we've had a couple. Like one of the shows we played with EHG, there was like a heckler, but like that doesn't really exist off the internet. We find, I don't know, but yeah, you get a lot of that online. So.
Yeah, if it's in real life, it's always like a boomer.
And they're
Yeah.
It's like, who just don't get it.
yeah.
You know?
And I feel like people are, they could, they'll get beat up or something if they're gonna. No one's gonna tolerate that in like
Right.
person. So
Yeah.
Just say what
It's
you
always internet stuff.
yeah, pretty much.
And then it's always like profiles that like are just fake for
Yeah.
people to talk trash.
exactly.
It's like, dude, live your life. Good. If this is what's making you happy, do it.
yeah.
And have you seen any criticism with like any level at all of constructiveness to it? Something criticizing anything other than the glittery pink image and a girl on vocals?
Not that I can think of.
No, I don't think anyone's like, hey, here's how you should
Supporters.
level up as a
Yeah.
band. Like
It's
everyone's
always
like,
like-
big stars. Like
It's always like Lady
cringe.
Gaga, Jelly Roll on drums.
Yeah, it's like it's never like
Yeah,
trying
the
to help
internet's
us out.
Not
so.
a great place for constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's Ooga Booga
Yeah.
BS.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You see me winking?
No.
Oh. You got sunglasses on.
I know, that's what I was. Anywho, sorry.
yeah, you guys have been on the road for a fat minute. Anything interesting happen, or pretty much just
So much.
standard?
It's so
Show to
hard
show.
to think of all of it.
I
Like,
got one.
Yeah.
Our lovely bandmates got engaged.
Oh yeah.
yeah, that
It's
was
not brand new news, but it's
It's news enough,
Yeah,
but yeah.
relatively
We had an off day in
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
I always
and-
want to say Yosemite.
I know, me too. I have to catch myself every time. I was about to say Yosemite.
Yeah,
It was in Yellowstone. Yeah.
It was like
That was an epic day. It was
Yeah, it was great.
Fantastic day.
magical day.
Yeah, we played a show in Bozeman, Montana in May, and then we
Awesome
had
town, by the way.
then we had an off day the next day, and I was like, if the weather's good, because she doesn't like gray weather.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
need
if the weather's
sunshine.
good, I'm gonna
Yeah.
propose.
Yeah.
So it was dependent on the weather.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was gonna wait till Lake Tahoe.
Which also would sick.
So
Yeah.
but,
It's-
yeah.
Can't lose
I think
either
you
way.
picked right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was sunny
we
enough.
were
It was-
at this
it was awesome.
beautiful, the falls. What is it called?
Artist point.
Artist
Point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, crazy enough, I didn't find out about this until later, but in my parents' bathroom or the house I grew up in, they had this stained glass window that they had like custom made, and it was of Artist Point.
Oh wow.
Because my parents went there before I was born, and they were like, "We love this spot. Like, let's get a picture of it in our house." And I had no idea that like all the baths I took as a little baby were underneath this picture of Artist Point, and I didn't find out until after I proposed to her there.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love love.
Yeah.
Destiny. Oh,
I
that's so
know.
awesome. Congrats to you guys.
Thank
you.
I know when we were playing Social Grace, that's the single from you guys, we were airing on SOU, we were talking about that for a little on-air breaks, so that's great.
That's awesome.
That's sick. Is it, who's taking which name? Is it going to be both Selfishes or both Moates?
We should both go Selfish.
Yeah,
That would be
cool.
awesome, man. Everyone in the band should have the last name Selfish.
Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
great.
Like the Ramones.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
The Selfishes. The
You already
Selfish
know.
Brats.
Yeah,
bro, I'm a
that's good.
diva.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I remember I also heard in one of your other interviews, like a dream tour for you guys would be to hop on with Pantera.
Yeah.
Any other bands you guys really
Yeah.
like right now?
Phil, where you at,
Metallica.
baby?
Oh, you should tell your
Yeah, Metallica.
Oh, yeah, you should tell
Slayer.
your
Your
Pantera,
Pantera
story.
story.
Oh, do I have to?
What's your...
I have to.
All right. Well. Okay. I'll snap out of it. My other band, which I can't say on the air, we played EHG's 30th anniversary show in New Orleans. They asked us to play, which was like really cool because we didn't really know those guys yet, you know. And we were like kids, and so we played the show, and like Phil was there. And we were talking to him in the green room after the show. He was like, he bought a couple tapes from us, you know. And he was like, yo, take my email down, like, let's jam sometime. I'm like, well, this is sick. Phil gave me his email. So I emailed him the next day, and then I never checked my emails again. Ever. For 5 years. And I was just scrolling through, like, within the last year, and I saw, like, a unread message from Phil, and it's, like, from 5 years ago. And he was like, yo, little bro, let's jam. I'm reading it, I'm like, well, that's a
He could have been in Pantera.
Could have been
Yeah.
you.
Train. That's the
Just
train.
Jamming with
Phil, is it still too late, dude? Let's jam, dude.
Let's jam.
Other dream bands?
Power Trip.
Power Trip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just saw them in New York, and holy crap! man.
Yeah.
Seth Gilmore, they couldn't have chose someone better to fill those
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah.
He sounded insane, so good.
I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like a natural fit after Fugitive and everything. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they're sick too. Fugitive.
Yeah,
the
love
stuff they
Fugitive.
put out.
Dream bands to tour with
Kitty.
is the question.
Kitty?
Oh,
Kitty
Kitty's
would
a big
roll
one.
that
Would be
would,
awesome.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit.
Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit
Yeah.
would be
Bizkit would be
awesome.
tight.
Yeah. So many.
Selfishly, I would love to tour with Between the Buried and Me, but I don't think
Oh,
that's, I don't know in what context that would ever make sense. But
Yeah. You have more of like a prog background than the rest of these guys, right?
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
No, that'd be sweet. Kitty, actually, I got to interview the lead singer Morgan, and she's
Yeah.
like the sweetest person I've ever met. So
That's
nice.
what I've heard. Yeah.
Such an awesome band. They're great. And Limp Bizkit, my God, I saw them at the PNC Banks Art Center here in Jersey, and those openers were rough. It was
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, they were all like
Oh.
rappers and stuff.
Oh,
Should have been
yeah.
Brat, bro.
It
Should've
should have been
us.
Brat.
Yeah.
It should have been any band. It was really bad.
Let Brat skit.
Yeah.
Like-
Let's go.
It was like
Yeah.
SoundCloud rap, and the crazy thing is that venue is like a big outdoor amphitheater with like a lawn and then the seats. So there's really no place for there to be a proper pit. I mean, everybody wanted a pit for break stuff, so everybody was jumping around. But I was confused. People were like crowd killing to the openers, like SoundCloud rappers, just throwing elbows and stuff. It was weird stuff.
Damn,
Yeah. What's the name? NASCAR Aloe. So, our second show ever, we played with NASCAR Aloe in New Orleans, and yeah, just like people definitely mosh for SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah.
It was a thing that we learned that
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Who knew?
Definitely. And I remember I saw some dude open up for Drain at the Brooklyn Monarch. It was like Poster Boy 3000. It sounded like Mario boss fight music. a little bit.
That's awesome.
But nonetheless, the
That'd be
rest of the
cool.
bands were all sick.
Yeah.
Koyo played. They were great.
Nice. Would love to tour with Drain also.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
definitely.
God. Their
Jane-
shows
oh,
are
and Zulu.
So much
Zulu.
fun.
Shout out Zulu.
Yeah,
So much
shout
fun
out
Drain
Zulu.
shows.
Yeah.
You guys ever meet the singer Sammy?
No, we haven't.
He's one of the nicest dudes ever.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Such a fun-loving dude. He's bringing fun back to hardcore. Like,
Yeah.
you see all these videos of Drain, and you're like, oh my God, I want to be there.
Yes.
Right.
Smacking somebody
Yeah.
with a pool noodle.
Yes.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, like how hardcore and heavy music, it's people aren't taking themselves seriously anymore because there's really no reason to.
No.
You don't need to be Mr. You know, darkness. Like, just have fun and listen to good music. Have you guys really noticed when that shift started to happen from going like metal elitism to more like let's just have fun and listen to good music?
I still feel like there's like a pretty good mix of both, honestly. Like, depends on the band, but I feel like most bands still take themselves pretty seriously. I don't know. Anyone else?
I mean, like, you could be a serious band, but you don't have to be like super serious people all the
Yeah.
time. You know, I mean, but you know, people are shaped by their experiences, so you never know. Like, we can only speak for ourselves, really. I guess.
Yeah.
When it happened, I don't know. I feel like metal and hardcore people have been like outcast nerds for a long time, so I think it's just more acceptable to be.
Weird.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. That's why I don't understand the infighting in the metal community. Everybody's like, oh, this band is cringe, or you're not metal enough, you're not hardcore enough. We're all outcast weirdos. Why don't we just stick together?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
all just be losers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Easier that
people
way.
playing Magic in the pit now,
Yeah.
so
It's true.
That is
we're,
awesome.
we're here.
And how do you guys usually stay energized during your tours? It's pretty relentless, a lot of driving. Do you have any like pre-show rituals you guys have?
Sleep.
2 beers.
Two
Exactly.
2 beers.
2 beers.
Exactly 2 beers.
Yeah, trying to get as much sleep as possible, for
We
sure.
learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Last
is
one
hard
was
to do,
awesome.
but yeah, I do like a vocal warm up, but that's about it.
stretch.
Yeah, some stretching.
Yeah.
Really just try to rest when it's time to rest. We
Mhm.
we don't have a driver or anything. Brenner pretty much does most of all the driving, so like we plot things out to where we're trying not to drive too much and we can actually get proper sleep, be it at a hotel or, like right now we're staying at a friend's house, which is like, it's better than an Airbnb. It feels like home, so it's easy to get a lot of rest in that context. But, our last tour, it was a lot of like, you play at 4:30 and then you're stuck at the venue till past 11, you're leaving at midnight, and then you're chasing a bus to a major city, so it's like
Gotta be
long
there the next
drives.
day.
You
Yeah.
have to do drives at night and then stop to sleep and then drive the next day, but you got to be there by noon because you play so early. So
Yeah, that was
crazy.
one.
Logistically,
Mhm.
that was one of the crazier things we've done.
Yeah.
I mean, if you leave a venue at midnight in one city, and then you have to be in a city 7 hours away for noon the next day, you're not getting that much sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I know you guys really liked Yosemite. Was there any other really cool places you guys have stopped by on tour?
The Redwoods in Northern California,
Yeah.
one of the coolest places.
Yeah, pretty
I've
much
ever
all of the
seen.
West Coast was
White Sands.
Amazing.
White Sands,
Yeah.
New
Amazing.
Mexico.
Yeah.
New Mexico.
Taos. Yeah, New Mexico is beautiful. The drive, I'll never forget the drive from Albuquerque up to Taos
Yeah.
and passing through Santa Fe and like
Listening to
going to the gorge.
Ennio Morricone.
Ennio Morricone
Yeah.
from Good Bad and the Ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of love everything. I
Except
will
the
say
Midwest.
that's one thing.
Yeah.
Except the
Yeah,
Midwest.
the Midwest.
We love Chicago and
And
Detroit,
Detroit.
but that's pretty much it.
We had
Like,
a hard time in the Midwest.
I'm always like in a bad mood.
everybody's always in a bad mood.
That's the Midwest, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bleak.
And that's like one thing Brenner's really good at is just like finding the positives of everything in a non-toxic way. And it's just like when you're in the Midwest, though, you just want to be like, bro, shut up. Stop being so nice.
I can't help it.
Find the negatives in something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's like
Never.
he just knows. He just has like a good perspective on things.
Yeah.
No.
King.
Yeah. And do you guys have any like dream locations, places that you would love to do a tour, do a show?
Japan.
Europe. Anywhere.
Asia.
Most anywhere.
Yeah.
Except
Canada.
Midwest.
We'll
Except the
be
Midwest.
we'll be doing Canada in a week or two for the first time.
Oh,
First
yeah,
time going
Canada.
outside the U.S.
Brazil.
So
We have a lot
Brazil.
of lofty goals.
yeah, we do. I'd love to play Mexico too.
Yeah. We do have Europe in the works for next year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Definitely awesome for those Europeans. And then on Death, sort of your classmates in Prosthetic Records, they're doing a whole Asia tour right now. So
That's so cool.
Yeah.
might
So
be on the
sick.
horizon for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope so.
They're
Would
just
love to
listening
tour with
their-
them too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're sick.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. Alex, the singer's a cool guy.
New single they put out is sweet.
Oh yeah, the music video, I love that claymation.
Oh, I haven't seen
We
it
haven't
yet.
seen the video. We've only listened
came
to the
out-
single.
Yeah.
Dismutatious malignancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
came out while
really
we've
cool.
been on this tour, so I haven't been able to
Yeah.
watch it, but listen to it in the van.
I'm a
Pretty
sucker for claymation. Anytime anyone does claymation, I'm loving it. I'm
Yeah.
a big Primus guy.
I love
Oh,
Primus.
yeah.
Super fan over here.
Cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
saw him
but
do that Rush set.
Oh my god,
That
dude!
was
I saw
phenomenal.
that tour like 3 times. Like
Yeah.
3 shows
That's
on that
crazy.
tour.
That's so sick.
That's my favorite band to mosh for, Primus.
Yeah.
I saw them in 2013 do it's like Primus 3D.
Oh yeah, I saw
Nice.
Primus in a
Just
Chocolate
threw
Factory.
a bunch of 3D glasses into the crowd.
It's awesome.
They've done a lot of concept tours. It's pretty cool. They did like the Primus and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, I saw that. They can do no wrong.
I saw them dressed up in a Spirit Halloween penguin costume,
So,
just moshing insane. It wasn't so bad outside, but then I went to an indoor theater venue and I was like sweating to death.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was worth it. Are there any like fan interactions that really stick with you guys? Any real characters?
Oh, I have so many
Too
good
many to-
ones.
We have a lot of positive ones.
Yeah, I
The
have
bracelet.
this bracelet
Yeah.
that a fan made me that I love and I wear it a lot.
We've had people bring us homemade little trinkets and stuff that are really cool.
Yeah.
baked goods.
Someone's bringing me a Stanley Cup that says Brat and Liz Selfish to the Buffalo show. I'm very excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like the only weird thing that sticks out is whenever we played Columbus, Ohio the first time.
Yeah.
There was some guy that came up to her at the merch booth and was like, "Hey, can I take a video of you? I heard you're a Trump supporter. Like, can I take a video
Which is not true.
of you saying F Bolsonaro, the president of Brazil, I
I don't
think."
even know who that
Which
is.
I didn't know who that was, okay? I'm like, this is a bimbo violence band. Like, I'm not very, like, up on international politics. I was like, I don't know if I can't make a video about someone I've never heard of. It was very weird. And the guy was, like, kind of pushy about it. Like,
It was
kept
weird. It
asking
was
and-
very
Yeah.
strange.
And I
Like,
was
what
like-
are you using this? What do you want to use this for? It
Yeah.
was a very weird vibe.
It
I
was
don't know.
strange.
Trying
Go
to
crazy.
force
That was a little
political endorsement on you.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, this is really weird. Like, and it's like, this is the Barbie fun band. Like, why are you trying to get me to like make some sort of like statement about it? It was strange,
Definitely.
but yeah, most people are awesome, and like you get a lot of people that say really nice things about especially as a woman, like being in the band and what that means to people, which is really nice. So I was very appreciative to hear from fans.
Yeah. And on that topic of political endorsement, you've been seeing all this stuff,
Whoa.
BRAT summer and all that.
Oh,
Have you guys
Let's
capitalized
go.
on that? I know you guys have that like
Yeah.
like
We love
neon
it.
green shirt. That's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, we try to make the most of it, but mostly it was just like we got tagged in a bunch of memes and stuff. But we did make like the BRAT green shirt with our logo on it.
What's
Just
not to love? It's a sick album.
yeah, we're big fans of the
I love it.
album.
I've been listening
Dustin
to
and
it.
I are, so it's a
I want
great
to get it on
album.
vinyl at some point.
Yeah, so big fans, Charlie. Let's work together.
Yeah, send us a vinyl.
Yeah.
package.
Yeah. No,
Trade.
that's great. I find it confusing. Now when I look up BRAT interview, it's about the album called BRAT by someone who's not called BRAT.
Yeah,
That should not be the first thing that comes up.
yeah,
What you gonna do?
yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to do about it, but
They got those big
lemonade.
big bucks behind that, so
Yeah. Pop bucks.
And Liz, could you see yourself doing like guest vocals on another band's track? If
Totally.
Someone reached out.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to.
That would be awesome to see. And the songwriting process, I know you do most of the lyrics. It's usually the music comes first and then you write the lyrics to go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, usually pretty much because the lyrics come last, the song is pretty much done because I write based on like how many lines I need per part, so it's not until the song is finalized that I know how many lyrics I need to write.
Yeah.
So if that makes sense.
Gotcha. And then, are there any things that really influence those lyrics, like non-music things, like maybe movies, TV shows, just life in general?
Stephen King, big Stephen King fan. I just really like old school horror literature. So
That's all you need for writing some good metal lyrics.
yeah.
And you guys, like I said, bimbo core, Barbie violence, whatever you want to call it. Some people like to call you guys grindcore. You guys span a lot of different genres. Do you think you have one genre you could probably actually call yourselves, or do you think you've sort of carved out your own niche?
I don't think there's one you could really pin us to. I think it
Open to
spans
interpretation.
a
Yeah.
few different genres, so it's hard to be like we're an XYZ band, which is kind of why the whole like bimbo violence thing was nice because it doesn't really specify
own
anything.
thing.
Yeah.
Rock
But
and roll
yeah,
music.
it's a lot of like there is definitely grindcore and death metal and hardcore. I'd say primarily, but also like for thrash. So
Yeah, I can tell you there's a couple things that sometimes people call us that we're not. Like, people have, said, you guys sound like a black metal band, and we're like,
yeah, I mean, people
Uh,
don't,
I don't know about that.
You know,
Pink metal.
but-
New metal.
Yeah.
Was
Pink
like,
metal, I like that.
yeah, somebody said we were
Deathcore.
like new metal-y once.
We've been called deathcore. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own ears.
yeah, facts.
That's true.
I hate the subgenre game. It's
The
it's
genre.
Yeah,
mind
it is
numbing.
like
There's so
Subgenre
many.
it can be
discourse.
very.
It's metal. It's just metal.
Yeah.
Heavy metal music.
If
Yeah.
we're metal.
Rock and roll.
And what can you tell me? I know you guys have some music on the way. Do you think it differs a lot from Social Grace? And do you think that Social Grace was a lot different from the 2 EPs you guys had put out?
Yeah, I feel like slowly things are going in maybe a little bit more of a death metal direction,
Mm-hmm.
but still keeping a lot of that like groovy kind of hardcore influence for sure. There's still definitely a lot of that in there.
Yeah. just as we're working on, we're starting to work on LP2, and it is moving a little bit more that direction than what we have out currently. I feel like I feel like Social Grace was maybe a little bit more grindy than the 2 EPs, honestly, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's also more collaborative writing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So where the EPs were pretty much written before I joined, and then we kind of just like worked through them, and then immediately went into recording. Pretty much not long after.
Yeah. The whole first year of the band's existence was just me and her, before, because I wanted to have all the music written before trying to put a band together and everything. But then whenever we started writing the album, a year or however long after the whole band was put together, that was a much more collaborative effort.
Yeah. We were touring heavy during the whole thing too, so there's like little bits of everybody we were touring with that were like definitely influencing us at the time.
Yeah, we've definitely toured with a lot of bands that have really inspired and influenced us. So, we like to think we take a little piece from all the bands that we now look up to and sprinkle it into our own music.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that kind of approach with the bands around here in Jersey. Usually it's just play shows, and then eventually set some time aside to record. Do you think like almost the quick success of the band is because you guys put that time into recording before you were able to start playing some shows?
Yeah, I definitely think that approach is really important, because if you announce that you're a band and then you don't have any music out yet, it's a lot harder for people to bite onto it if they don't know what it sounds like. So I think it's important for bands to announce that they're a band and have music somebody can go listen to immediately, because people's attention spans are, non-existent at this point.
Right.
So, yeah, if a band is announced and they're like, music coming soon, whoever sees that is going to forget about it in a day.
Big things coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one song, it doesn't have to be a whole album or anything. Just one song. What does the band sound like?
Yeah.
Right. And then being a band today, it's not completely about the music. You need to do so much type of promotion on your social media. Everything's about likes, shares, all that, and you guys are pretty good at it. I remember one of the memes with the candlestick and the big no monster, that was funny.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She's our resident content creator.
Yeah, I try to handle all the social media, and it's tough. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. You gotta have the best memes.
Yeah, that's right.
For sure. Is there anything you guys want to leave off with? Let the metal world know, SOU listeners.
A quick shout out to John Smith.
Yeah.
Our loyal tour mate, and
Our
keeps
handler.
us together.
Spiritual guru.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not good at this. That's on the spot.
We're
Just
on
come to
tour
our
right
show.
now.
Yeah,
We're on tour right now. Check out our tour dates on our social media.
I don't know when this comes
This
out,
is-
but we're playing TVI tonight in
Yeah.
Queens. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Should be sick.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say their name, but we're playing with a really good friend band of ours from Cincinnati. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
Tonight's gonna be incredible.
Yeah,
It's really made me realize how many band names
you can't.
we
say.
know that we just
Yeah.
can't say.
We
I'm
have
so
this
many.
list. I think Kerrang! Magazine actually posted it. The bands list that we have for WSOU, and occasionally when we're bored, we'll just look down it, and there's some of the funniest stuff we see.
Yeah.
It's wow, that somebody came up with that as a name. That's incredible. Is there another band playing with you guys for your New Hope show at John Peters?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dean Ween.
I think
who
there's-
said.
Two bands.
Yeah, there's two
Rosewood,
bands. I think a
something.
local band, and then
Roseanne.
another band that I think may be from New Orleans. We haven't heard of them. But
We don't have much information.
yeah, we don't have much info about that show,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we'll see when we get there, I guess.
It'll be cool regardless.
Yeah.
That place is sick.
Yeah.
Come anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.